You want to know why you're still chasing respect? Why authentic connection feels like a foreign language? And why, despite all your efforts, you feel like an imposter in your own life? It's because you're addicted. Addicted to a drug so pervasive, so deeply embedded in your mental operating system. You mistake its insidious whispers for your own rational thought. That drug is the insatiable, cancerous need for external approval. You've been meticulously programmed from your earliest years to be a people pleaser, a validation seeker, a nice guy. And it is precisely this programming that has rendered you weak, predictable, and ultimately deeply dissatisfied. You trade your power for pats on the head, your principles for fleeting acceptance, your potential for the lukewarm comfort of not ruffling feathers. This isn't a path to strength. It's a slow descent into a self-made prison of mediocrity. The world has sold you a lie, that self-worth is a reflection in the eyes of others, that to be good is to be compliant, to be strong is to be stoic but agreeable, and to be respected is to never, ever risk being disliked. This is the blueprint of your current flawed architecture. But today, we hand you the forbidden schematics, the master key to deprogram this deeply ingrained servitude. We are not here to offer superficial fixes or temporary ego boosts. We are here to guide you through the systematic dismantling of the approval-seeking software. The software that has been silently sabotaging your life. The core insight, the truth they don't want you to grasp is this. The deprogramming of the need to please is the hidden pillar of magnetic self-respect. It's not about learning new tricks to perform for others. It's about excavating and eradicating the faulty code within, so that true, unshakable self-respect can finally emerge. Not as an act, but as your default state of being. This is how you stop being a hostage to external opinion. This is how you start architecting an inner fortress. A magnetic presence that commands respect not by demand, but by its very existence. Our first excavation site is the invisible prison, unmasking the secret origin of your programming to please. You see, this desperate need for validation isn't some inherent flaw in your character. It's a meticulously installed program, a mental virus downloaded into your psyche from childhood, reinforced by societal norms, educational systems, and the relentless echo chamber of media. Think of your mind as a sophisticated computer. In your formative years, this approval-seeking software had a function: to ensure your survival within the tribe, your family unit, your early social circles. Being agreeable meant safety, resources, connection. But that operating system, designed for a child's dependency, is now crippling the adult. It's running outdated protocols. Protocols that perceive every potential disapproval as a threat to your very existence. This is why a critical comment feels like a physical blow. Why the thought of saying no triggers a primal fear of abandonment. We will introduce you to a process we call psychic archaeology. You must become the archaeologist of your own mind, digging through the layers of your past, identifying those key moments, those influential voices, those societal messages that installed and reinforced this virus. Was it a parent who only offered affection contingent on perfect behavior? A school system that rewarded conformity over individuality? A culture that equates male strength with stoic, uncomplaining agreeableness? The epiphany here is revolutionary. You are not inherently weak or needy. You are running a powerful piece of hardware infected with obsolete, corrupting software. The problem isn't you, it's the damn program. Now let's shatter the grand illusion of the nice guy. Why trying to please everyone is the secret formula for mediocrity and powerlessness. This is one of society's most insidious lies. A myth so pervasive it's become a cultural commandment. Be nice, be agreeable, don't make waves, and everyone will like and respect you. Bullshit. This relentless pursuit of universal likability, this constant self-editing to avoid offense, is the fast track to a bland, forgettable existence. It erodes your identity until you're nothing more than a vaguely pleasant reflection. A reflection of whoever you're currently trying to appease. This isn't kindness. It's a strategy born of fear. It doesn't build respect. It breeds a subtle contempt. People don't respect doormats. They use them. The nice guy who is terrified of saying no, who suppresses his own needs and opinions to maintain a fragile peace, isn't seen as strong or virtuous. He's seen as predictable, easily manipulated, and ultimately devoid of a core. And here's the forbidden truth, the paradox of selective repulsion. Your capacity to not please everyone, to hold firm to your principles, to articulate your truth even when it's unpopular, to set boundaries that may disappoint or even anger some. This is a monumental source of genuine attraction and deep respect. When you stand for something, you automatically repel those who stand for nothing. When you try to stand for everything, you stand for nothing, and become invisible to those who matter. The world doesn't need another echo. It's starved for authentic voices. Your fear of being disliked is the chain that keeps you in the chorus line when you were meant to conduct the orchestra. This brings us to the Liberation Code, forbidden psychological tools to uninstall the approval virus and forge your inner sovereignty. Understanding the problem is diagnosis. True power comes from the cure. This isn't about feel-good affirmations. This is about surgical intervention on your mental programming. We're handing you the scalpels. First, implement the radical external validation diet. You must starve the approval-seeking beast. This means consciously reducing your reliance on external feedback for your sense of self-worth. Start by identifying whose opinions you've given godlike status. Systematically downgrade their authority in your mind. Your value is intrinsic, not a stock price fluctuating with public sentiment. Begin to cultivate the practice of self-assessment, based on your principles, your integrity, your effort, not the applause, or lack thereof, from the gallery. Second, enter the deliberate micro-rejection laboratory. You build the muscle of self-respect not by avoiding discomfort, but by strategically engaging with it. This means practicing saying no to small, inconsequential requests. It means voicing a dissenting opinion in a low-stakes conversation. It means setting a tiny boundary and holding it. Each micro-rejection you weather without crumbling, each small act of self-affirmation in the face of potential disapproval, desensitizes you. Desensitizes you to the fear of negative feedback. It's like an inoculation. You're building immunity to the opinions of others, strengthening your internal frame. Third, erect the judgment deflection shield. Understand this. Most criticism and judgment you receive is not about you. It's a projection of the other person's insecurities, their biases, their unfulfilled needs, their own outdated programming. When you truly internalize this, their words lose their venom. You learn to observe judgment, to analyze its source, rather than automatically absorbing it as a reflection of your worth. This isn't about becoming arrogant or dismissive of all feedback. It's about developing the discernment to filter out the noise and recognize when a criticism is actually a confession from the critic. Finally, we arrive at the alchemy of magnetic self-respect, living deprogrammed in a programmed world. What does life look like when the approval virus is largely purged from your system? It's not about becoming a callous, isolated brute. It's about the emergence of an entirely new operating system, one based on authentic self-respect. This isn't an aggressive, attention-seeking posture. It's a quiet, unwavering confidence that emanates from a deep well of self-acceptance and inner alignment. Your decisions become rooted in your core values, not in a desperate calculation of how they'll be perceived. Saying no ceases to be a source of anxiety. It becomes a simple, calm statement of your reality. You'll find that the desperate need to control how others see you vanishes, replaced by a profound sense of freedom. And here's the alchemy. This internal shift creates an external ripple. The arrogance you once feared being accused of now registers as presence, as conviction, as an undeniable centeredness. You stop chasing respect and find it's being offered freely. You stop contorting yourself to fit into relationships. You start attracting connections that honor your authentic self, because you are no longer broadcasting neediness, but self-possession. This is the man voice emerging from the man echo. This is the architect who has finally built his inner fortress, not with the flimsy materials of external validation, but with the bedrock of his own deprogrammed sovereign mind. You become the mountain, unmoved by the shifting winds of opinion, a testament to the power of authentic self-mastery. This journey of mental deprogramming is merely the foundation of your new reality's architecture. If the insights revealed today resonated deeply with your quest for inner sovereignty, subscribe now to Mind Architect Lab and activate the notification bell, as there are many layers of the psyche we have yet to unravel together, exposing the hidden codes that shape your potential. And to solidify the first step of your deprogramming, share in the comments. What was the limiting belief about pleasing others that you've consciously decided to demolish starting today? Your public declaration is the first brick in building your new mental fortress. Mind Architect Lab. Master your mental blueprint. Stay sharp.